It's a Wally Jolly Christmas. Guys, we're back. We're live. That's like a win.
Yeah.
It's a win for us. We see the magic behind us.
We're always rushing.
Let's let some friends gather up, play the beautiful bean footage.
I gotta know, when can we do this again?
Hello. Aloha. Ahoy.
Ahoy. Yes, we're not aloha. Oops, I forgot to
Not
set
yet.
the angle. I did an audio check though, so I know people can hear us.
Just did a run downstairs to get some more water. I'm finishing my cookie dough.
But as the title implies, wherever it was probably down here.
I don't know.
We are talking tonight about a very merry sailing on the Disney Magic.
Disney Magic. Yeah.
Ooh, the OG ship.
Mm-hmm. So first, let's say hi to everybody. So hi, Dawn.
Hi, Dawn. You were right. Smash that thumbs up button. Thanks.
Yeah.
Mom's on board. Hey, Mom. And Fun
And
Fiero. Welcome,
Liz.
Andy and
Hey.
Liz.
So yeah, we went from the Wish to the Magic.
That's like opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, like pretty much from one end of the extreme to the other. And I have to say, I was super, super nervous. I thought, oh, I don't know. Like the closer we got, the more I was like watching vlogs and looking up pictures. And I'm like, man,
You were getting nervous.
is the ship gonna feel old? Is the ship gonna feel dated? Is it gonna feel small? Is it gonna feel like not as like pristine and clean? And the answer is no. It felt
It's OG.
it felt wonderful.
Yeah.
It felt totally magical. None of my like fears were founded at all. Is it different than the Wish? Yes. We definitely like throughout the cruise would notice things and be like, oh, this is like so much better. And in our opinion, this is so much better on the Wish. So I think like we've only done one other cruise. We've done the Fantasy and it was in 2015. So it's been a hot second since we've been on a cruise. We did the Wish in July. If you haven't seen those vlogs, if you haven't seen our Travel Talk Tuesdays, kind of unpacking that, go and check those out. But this was my third sailing, Mark's fourth. He did the Wonder when he was in high school. So it's been a while.
It's been a while.
And the Wonder has since been completely like gutted and redone, as has the Magic. So really like our view is coming off of the newer ships, coming back to the old original ships. And I think that's a unique perspective to have because a lot of frequent cruisers are going the other way. Like they've done the Magic and they've done the Wonder and they've done the Fantasy and they've done the Dream and they love all those ships and they're essentially all the same. The Fantasy and the Dream are
bigger versions of the Magic and Wonder.
Maybe slightly improved in some ways, but not majorly.
Yeah.
Like there's no major like layout or structural changes between the two ships.
Yeah.
So, or between the two class of ships, the Magic class and the Dream class. So I think that when you go from any of the four originals to the Wish, huge difference in a lot of things. We noticed many of them being positive changes, whereas I think people that have frequented the original four ships and did the Wish had a lot more like kind of negative input on that. But I don't know. I mean, is that...
I was very happy to see today or yesterday PC Dev post basically that same thing of he was wrong, his initial impression of the Wish.
Yeah.
And I think it was that initial startling factor of, ooh, it's different.
It's different.
It's different.
It's different.
And sometimes for a lot of people that can throw them overboard.
Yes. I mean, and I think especially in the Disney community, we see that a lot. Different is bad. Different is scary. I don't like different. Give me back the original. Like I liked it the way it was. Don't, what's the like the saying in the wish book, it literally says, like the saying is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I think the chapter in the book is like, if it ain't broke, fix it anyway.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's like very much an Imagineering concept. It was funny because we did the magic of the show, or what's the tour
The
called?
Art of the Magic.
No, it's like
No.
the Art of the Show tour or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We did so many things.
We did a lot, but the tour that you can go on where they show you the ship and they show you kind of all the like little like secret things and details and things like that. It was funny because Tisa, who we loved, like she was hands down like made our cruise just amazing.
If you can figure out her work schedule on any ship that you're on,
if you're on a ship that Tisa's on for your entertainment person,
go to
like,
whatever show she's doing and
is
go just follow her
amazing and
around.
hysterical.
See if you can get her work
But
schedule.
she did Art of the Theme Show.
Art of the Theme Show.
She
There you
did
go.
our Art of the Theme Show tour, and it was funny because her like repeat line that she would say over and over again is like, Imagineers have no life. Imagineers have no life, and that is why they've done all these things. And we said at the end of it, we're like, the Wish is Imagineering on steroids. Like when you talk about how like Imagineers have no life, and so they like focus on all, they like fixate on all the details, and they are like, when you're on any of the Disney ships, all that magic is like woven throughout. The Wish is that on steroids times 1,000. Like it's just like in every
what could we
detail.
rethink, and we're going to rethink it.
Yeah. So that being said, I still felt that pure sense of like wonder and enchantment and magic, and the cast members. That was probably the biggest difference we noticed. The cast members on this sailing were,
you can tell when they have experience.
Yeah, like leaps
and
and
when
bounds.
they've been around the horn a little bit.
And we like, even some of them were new still, but
having someone around you who had 17, 19, 20 years of experience in Disney Cruise Line.
And not just 20 years of experience in Disney Cruise Line, but like 20 years on the magic.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these are people that like, they know these ships inside and out. They know how it works. There's just this sense of like ease and relief in the cast members that like, we know what we're doing. We got this. We got you. This ship is our baby. You know, like we know everything about it.
We're done constructing it.
Yeah, and you don't get that on the Wish, and I don't think you will for a while. I actually saw like a bunch of posts in the cruise groups that the pastry chef, I think, just quit on the Wish, and so like all the tastings and things that were scheduled were canceled. So I mean,
and what was interesting is we ran into a couple cast members who had been sent to the Wish for a little while, and now we're back.
We're back,
you know,
or we're on the list and we're this close to going to the Wish, and we're so thankful they didn't get moved to the Wish. So I do think that plays into a lot of it. But some of the biggest things we noticed is the elevator situation and the like main atrium. I think they are leaps and bounds better on the Wish. Like we did a bunch of the shows, and they do a lot of shows in that main atrium gathering space. Like when you first board, you're taking in all the like magic and wonder of the ship. When they do the like, this was a Merrytime sailing, so they did story time with Mrs. Claus. They had all the character greetings down there. They had the see you real soon farewell party in the main atrium, and all of that's happening in the main atrium, and it is tiny. You are like crammed in there, and the traffic flow is really
through
like
the middle
really
of the main atrium.
Miserable. You know, I mean, if you're having to like funnel in through the middle, or you have to go all the way around to the sides, like when we boarded, they were finishing getting the Christmas decorations up in the main atrium still, and it was like blockaded. This
so we
tiny
boarded into a wall.
And even like the debarkation process. We stood in line for, I mean, people waited a good 45 minutes in line just to get off the ship after they had breakfast, because that traffic backs up. And I will say that we never noticed that on the Wish, because there's just so much
the Fantasy.
more
I mean,
space.
even if you think back to the Fantasy bigger ship, I don't remember standing in line
I mean,
for
it's
a
like
long period of
bigger
time to
ship,
get
more
off the ship.
people. I mean, but I do think that main atrium space in the Wish, I think they did it right. It's just so much cozier. It welcomes more of those like shows and that atmosphere and environment.
Dawn has a good point here.
Yeah.
I mean, the cast member, the crewmate to passenger ratio is much smaller, or is better on a smaller ship.
You have more crew to less people.
Mhm.
I mean,
The show venues are smaller, they're more intimate.
And I will say this was a completely sold out.
And it was
cruise.
the first time the Magic has been sold out
In a
since
long
reboot,
time.
since after COVID reboot.
Yeah, so since 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I could definitely tell that from the crew members.
Yes.
They were stressed. I could tell that. They were stressed, like, oh my gosh, there's as many people as we've ever had.
1,300 kids on the sailing, which is a much higher ratio than what they normally have for kids. Normally, like, you know, they'll have about 1,000 is one on a sold out cruise, but because it was Thanksgiving week,
Chapek's not here anymore, so that kind of I would normally criticize that kind of idea as don't get any ideas, but not here anymore.
Yeah.
No, they did not have Genie Plus.
No. No lightning lane for debarkation.
That would have been great. Although, I mean,
but yeah, it was the first time having a completely sold out cruise since 2019. First time sailing from Galveston this year. So they had just come over. They did a circuit in Europe and then New York
down the coast,
and then
San Juan.
And then up to Galveston. So this was the first sailing out of Galveston this year. And it was the first maritime sailing. So I mean, a lot of like firsts to really like, you know, stress the capacity of the crew. And we had a wonderful time.
Yeah.
I thought our server team was fantastic. They took great care of us with
food allergies. That's
allergies.
always it's always something we have to work with, and by far these guys knew what they were doing at all levels of the chain, up in cabanas all the way down to the dining room.
Yep. And I would say that it was
consistent,
better than the Wish, although I wouldn't say it was like significantly better. I felt like we were taken really good care of on the Wish.
I agree that we were taken really good care of on the Wish. I think especially that day, you ordered a pizza, and I ordered I ordered pulled pork. Yep. And the guy was like, "Just come get me for one of you. I service all of the quick service restaurants."
Yep.
I would assume it's that same way on the Wish, but I don't think they were quite in the sling of it yet to be able to handle that kind of thought process. But he was like, "Next time you guys want to order, just come find me and order from any of them you want, and we can go for there."
So Dawn is saying we may take our first Disney cruise on the new one being built, the Treasure.
First piece was floated out.
Yep. They've officially started it. It's really exciting. So I think we want to do a sailing on the Treasure.
Oh yeah,
for sure. I think we had such an incredible experience doing that second sailing with the DVC. So I'm really hoping they'll do a DVC charter again. We'll be gold by then. So that'll be
exciting.
Helpful, I guess.
No,
so it won't be for the DVC sailing.
They'll all be platinum or pearl. So,
but at least we'll have like something. Yeah, now they have the new pearl status. So, and let me tell you, everybody on our DVC cruising probably would have qualified for pearl, or at least 90% of them.
Yeah.
So,
no, but our restaurant staff. Do you want to talk a little bit more about the dining situations on any of them?
Yeah, well, and we'll go through kind of with like food and stuff. But I just wanted to kind of give like initial big picture. I mean, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I will say like there was things about it that I did like miss or like wish were like the Wish. I really like, I think that the adult entertainment district and venues felt more exciting maybe
because they're segregated. Well, on the Wish, okay, I was gonna say on the Magic, because the Magic they have that adult entertainment district,
and
versus
the Wish
on the
is
Wish they're all spread out.
And I have to think about that some more, because I definitely like it felt really comfortable doing the adult stuff on the sailing, because it is all in that district, and like we knew it from when we were on the Fantasy, like it just was like that's what you were expecting, and that was very different on the Wish. But things just felt like things felt more themed on the Wish. You know, I mean, like, it really does feel like Nightingales and the Hyperspace Lounge. We never even made it into the what's the other one that's on the Wish? The like ship one.
Oh, the Ale and Compass.
Yeah, we never really made it into Ale and Compass.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Things like that are a little bit different on the Wish. I can think about that some more. It just felt very familiar on the Magic. I think that's like the thing about the Magic, about the Wonder, about the Fantasy, about the Dream. If you've done one, you've kind of done them all.
Yep.
Like they are very familiar when you do one. And I think people get very, very comfortable with that. And when you're a frequent cruiser, it is like you know the whole ship without really trying. And the Wish was a lot more work.
Yep.
It was a lot more work to know where things were.
Yep.
But I did kind of miss some of the like, I don't know, shininess of the Wish, I guess. Like some of the more themed things.
There were definitely, counters that were worn down.
Yeah. But I mean, it was interesting too, like doing that tour. The Magic was completely gutted. Yeah. I mean,
so interesting to me, they took out one whole stairwell. So on the Wonder, I remember it too. You had the two side stairs.
Yeah.
Well, now they've adopted to only having one stairway going up. And that stairway is worthless anyways on all ships because they block it 90% of the time anyways.
Because there's things going on.
Character, there's pictures, there's who knows what. So most of the time that stairwell is blocked anyway. So why have two stairwells that are blocked?
Michael. It was awesome meeting you guys.
Hey, Michael. Yeah, great to meet you.
They were the first to board.
Yes.
Yeah, they were the family of the day. So, and then they had posted that they wanted a video. We had a video, and then they were on our shore excursion in Mexico with us. And I'm like, I think that's the family of the day. So it was really fun to connect with you guys. But yeah, I think overall, like, was it the same Disney magic as we experienced on the Wish? 100%.
Yep.
Do I want to go on the Wish again? Yes. Do I want to go on the Magic again? Yes. Yes. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I'm excited to do the Wonder in a couple months and just kind of like see how that compares. And it's, it's going to feel very familiar. It's going to feel like the exact same ship in some ways and different in other ways. So we'll see. Yeah. So the Magic, I think Dawn said the Wish, but you mean the Magic. Yeah. The Magic was launched in 1998. Yep. It was the very first original ship.
OG ship.
It is the original Disney Cruise Line ship, and then it was renovated, in 2019. So really, like, this ship felt pretty new because it was renovated in 2019. It didn't run that long before things were shut down for the pandemic. So really, like, it's kind of still a new ship.
And I think they're still catching up from some of it being shut down during. I mean, there were some pieces again. There were some
it gets confusing with the names.
Edges rubbed off and things that were apparent to me that the shutdown really hurt the ongoing maintenance of these vessels.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely there was some rust.
Yeah. Which
we saw rust and barnacles on things.
Yeah, but they were working hard. They were working frantically every day to clean that up. I mean, they were on their little lower down platforms. You're not going to be able to see it, but way over there on, coming down the side, doing all sorts of cleaning, like underneath, removing barnacles and so forth. So,
okay. So I think what we want to do is just kind of run like day by day, kind of how what we did on our cruise. And then after we're done here tonight, we're actually going to be hopping over to the Hitchhiking Bones channel. Yep. And that'll be more like interview style. Like Dawn always has wonderful questions. Dawn and Will always have the best questions. Yeah. So I know they will run us through the ringer and ask us all the hard questions.
And we're going to have a lot of tips, especially we learned a lot on the Magic.
We did learn
up to and including you leave during a storm. That's going to be a rough ride.
Yeah.
And Michael can attest to this. It was a rough couple days heading out of port.
So
you're going through the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, and even steady cruisers were having trouble.
There was a lot of barfing happening.
By the second night, I would say about half of the ship had seasickness.
Yes.
So
it was rough.
Yeah.
It was very, very stormy. So we flew into Houston on Friday night and we sailed out on Sunday. So we got in late. I do want to give a huge shout out to our transportation. I think I have her thing in here. But Cruising with Kim, she's like amazing, like made our entire trip just so much easier, like so much less stressful. Gosh, I thought I saved her like business card in here.
While you're looking for that, I'm gonna do our commercial break. So if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and bell icon. If you're bored sitting around, hit that thumbs up while we're looking for pictures. Also, big thanks to Dean from the Dreamers Empire and the Live Place. Remember, theliveplace.com hosts all your family-friendly live streamers. So you can go on and if you're sitting around during the day, you can go on and see who's live right now. Just look at their schedule. And usually there's, except for maybe 2 or 3 in the morning, there's usually someone live. So, liveplace.com or liveplace on theliveplace.com or the Live Place on YouTube. So,
okay, I'm just going to pull this up. Here we go. So, Cruise and Transportation with Kim is the name of the service.
And why this is important, especially because we flew into Hobby. So Southwest has more flights from Denver to Hobby than it does to Houston Bush, IAH. And so you're going to want to know this because there's no Disney transportation from Hobby to the port.
Yes.
Okay. There's no Disney transportation from Hobby to the port.
Not direct, not like Disney transportation. No. There are lots of different shuttles.
There are lots of other people who will advertise it. Kim's one of them. Kim is amazing. She took us from Hobby to our hotel and then from our hotel to the port the next, not the next day, but the day after. So I would highly recommend reaching out to her if you're flying into, especially in a Hobby, because there's no other way. But honestly, if you were to fly into George Bush International the day of the cruise, you're going to be hard pressed to get to that port in time. It was rough.
It
was rough going.
So originally we're like, we'll just do a Lyft or, Uber and it'll be fine. And I'm glad we didn't stick with that plan. I just kind of kept asking in the cruise group and finally Kim was recommended. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to see what it costs. Yeah. She was totally reasonable, like completely comparable in her cost to any of the shuttle services. We actually looked up direct price by price and that she's, exactly spot on with that. So very reasonable. And she was like super kind, super personable, gave us her personal tour of the area, all of the insider tips, stopped at McDonald's for us. Even our flight was delayed. We got in at 10 or 11 o'clock at night. While he was hungry, she ran us through McDonald's.
Yes, she stopped at McDonald's for us on the way.
Was there, she took us from the airport to the hotel, from the hotel to the port, from the port to the airport.
With a stop at Buc-ee's.
She stopped at Buc-ee's on the way to the airport for us, so we could go in and shop. Hung out for half an hour while we strolled around and got to do all of that, and just was amazing. Literally cannot recommend her enough. So if you're going down to do a cruise out of Galveston, whether you're staying in Galveston or you're staying in Houston or anywhere in between,
that's actually the couple she was picking up. They were going from Hobby to a hotel in Galveston that had cruise port transportation. She'll do that. She'll get you from Hobby to
and she
hotel.
Was great. Literally that night we flew in, one of the big hotels in Galveston burned to the ground. And she was texting.
She was
everybody,
calling and texting the people she knew she was dropping off.
She FaceTimed us when we landed so that we knew who she was and told us where to go. And I could talk about her forever because seriously, she just made our trip so much less stressful. She was just amazing. So that's probably the biggest tip I can give.
Honey, what day? We didn't do Monday night. We did Tuesday.
Right? No, we sailed out on Sunday. We had Palo on Monday.
Yeah, so we
had brunch.
We did Palo brunch on Monday in those waves.
So we ate a huge brunch, and then we had Rapunzel's that night. And it had
and just continued eating.
We definitely tested our ability to be ill on a cruise with motion sickness.
Yeah.
And
we
were
when our video from Palo comes out, you'll be like, wow, they were eating all that food with all those waves.
We ate a lot of food that day. None of us got sick. Thank goodness. So I think we're feel pretty confident that we're motion sickness, like
immune.
So
that's funny.
Yeah, we definitely tested it, but that does not surprise me that they had reservations, like,
because it was dead in Palo when we were there for brunch. I mean, it was dead.
But that's funny because he said that like Monday night he had 120 and only one was served for the whole day.
Yeah.
But
maybe that was just that night.
Probably for dinner. Yeah. Because there was a cut, but it was not busy for brunch.
It was not busy for brunch. There were maybe 5 or 10.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I don't know. Well, because I mean, it was rocky the night before.
I'm happy you got rescheduled.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, we had a blast in Houston. We stayed at the Courtyard Marriott that is directly across from the Johnson Space Center. The Houston, what is it? It's not called the Johnson Space
Center. So Space Center Houston is the public
visitor complex.
Yes.
So yeah, definitely
watch for that video. You'll enjoy it. We're sitting there. We're like, well, this is a great brunch.
Apparently we're not bothered by it. But yeah, we had so much fun. So we went, it was super rainy and cold. We had coats, we had Santa hats, we had all the things, but we went and did the Space Center. We got over there around like noon and they close at 5. So we did 5 hours there. We got to do the tour out to the original mission control that they've restored to the
Apollo 11 Mission Control Center
launch day. Like that's what they like restored it to that state.
So that state that day.
And it's amazing. So cool. So we did the tram tour out to there and got to experience that. And that was awesome. And really did a lot of the Space Center in the 5 hours that we had.
Mm-hmm.
And then from 5 to 6, they close. And then at 6 o'clock right now, they reopen for their evening event, which is the Galaxy Lights, which is super beautiful and amazing.
Basically put Christmas lights on all the space.
Oh my gosh,
stuff.
It's so fun. But we had the whole place to ourselves for an hour. And so we like hung out, we had a snack, we like got to walk around to the exhibits. It was completely empty in there. And then it ended up being like completely dead that night because the weather was so yucky that nobody really came. So we pretty much had the whole event to ourselves. But let me just say this, there is nothing as romantic and magical as roasting marshmallows in the rain under the wing of a Boeing 747.
We did that.
It's really, really fun. Well, sipping hot cocoa,
spiked hot cocoa,
amaretto.
Yeah.
It was really like pretty enchanting.
Yeah.
So, and I only managed to step in one giant puddle.
It was a giant puddle.
Amazingly didn't soak through my shoe. And then we ended up just walking back over to our hotel after. It took like maybe 10 minutes. And we stopped and picked up dinner on the way. And it was really, really wonderful. So if you're visiting Houston, if you're space fans, I would definitely recommend Johnson Space Center. It was really a lot of fun. Wally loved it. It was a great day. So, we'll throw up some of our
real quick because we got to keep rolling this already.
So that was what we did before. We got up, we took a lift, we got breakfast, we went over to the Space Center, spent the day there, walked back. And then the next morning, Kim came and picked us up at our hotel and transported us to the cruise port. Again, she was awesome. She was super kind. She did the whole like scenic tour for us, like drove us downtown, talked about how they do Dickens days. And then like asked us how we wanted to approach the ship because the port's kind of different. Like if you've normally sailed out of Florida, there's mission control. It's really cool.
That was the cool. So you can do 3 tours and we knew we were only going to get one in because of the timing. So you have to do the recovered mission control center. Really you have to do that. It was a little bit.
They have the rocket garden.
You could go see the rocket garden with the Saturn V. No competition to what they have in Florida. So do not do that if you go to Florida. Yeah. The
and then
Space Center is
what was
amazing.
the third tour that you could do?
I can't even remember. That's how. Oh, it was actually the astronaut training. So
that would be cool too.
I wanted to go see the astronaut training facility.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to see that, but we did get to see the.
See, Dawn says Dickens on the Strand is our favorite Galveston festival. It sounded
really awesome.
I'm like, I want to go back and do a cruise again and go to that. So that was really what she drove us all through like downtown. And then she asked us like, how do you want to come up to the ship so that you can see it best? Because we told her, we're recording. And so she drove us both ways. She drove us so that we could see it head on, and then she drove us so that we came up at the side. She even like drove and parked so that Wally could see the big battleship that they have in dry dock right now. So it was just really fun, and we really enjoyed Houston a lot.
Yeah, share that one.
It was really, really fun. Yeah. This was
go.
at the
Galaxy
Lights. And like I said, like we had the whole place to ourselves.
Yeah.
Nobody there.
Yeah. I mean, that's
it was
run of the facility.
Yeah. But it was great because the 747, the jet, shuttle carrier is open during the event. So we didn't get to do that during the day because we just like ran out of time, but then we could like take our time and walk through it during Galaxy Lights, and it was really fun.
Stand next to those big Pratt and Whitney engines
because some of the lights were not working because of the rain.
Yeah, well, they were flooded. That's why they weren't working.
There was definitely some flooded areas, but we still had like such an amazing time. It's so cool to see.
It's such a cool facility.
That is really cool
to be able to walk in the shuttle Independence.
Yeah.
To be able to walk
and you walk up like 4 levels and you get to like walk through the whole thing. It's really cool.
And then Dawn put this. I'm gonna go find it.
Battleship Texas. That was so. Then we got down to the cruise port the next morning, and I think I got a picture of Wally. Yeah, right here.
Go. You drive. Yep, there it is.
Right here. So we got to see the this one. Whoa. Yeah, so we got to
There's the Battleship Texas.
The Battleship Texas. It was so cool. And like Wally, I don't know why. Wally is obsessed with battleships. Like he literally draws battleships at school or takes paper and makes 3-dimensional like battleship art.
He also draws laser eye emitting turkeys.
Yes, they had to draw their Thanksgiving turkey in a disguise this year, and he just had a giant laser eye shooting at the person who was trying to eat him. So that was Wally's turkey disguise. It was pretty good. So Kim was great. Made it to the cruise port. We had an 11:30 boarding time.
So what's very interesting is this is a multi-use cruise port. Mm-hmm. They did just Royal Caribbean created their own terminal, but everyone else kind of shares terminals 1 and 2. So
they're not nice.
They're not unnice.
They're not unnice, but they're just like
not opulent, like
a warehouse building.
It's basically. A warehouse building.
Yeah. And there's no cover. There's no outside cover.
Yeah.
So we had an 11:30 a.m. boarding time. We were boarding group 6. And we got there about an hour before, like 10:30.
10:45, yeah.
And
we're like, yep, just come on in.
We were like going to sit down, and people are like, oh, you can go in. So we're like, okay. So we went in, got right in line for security. About 10 minutes after that, they opened up. We went through security. I will say the cruise port workers were definitely, like, you could tell this was the first time the Disney cruise line had been there in a while. So they were like not as informed.
You can always tell non-Disney employees because they have a red name tag.
Yeah.
So if they have a red name tag, it's going to be in the same shape.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to look the same, but it's red, and they're not Disney employees.
Right. So we got through that, and we went and sat up front, and then Wally the whole way was like stalking this other family that had their pins. Like the girls all had their pins on their backpack, and he was like, Mom, those people have pins. We need to go find them. We need to trade with them. So it's like we got in and we're sitting there, and he's like, Mom, that's a family. They're pins. And I was like, oh my gosh, Wally. So he gets all of his pins out. He puts on all of his lanyards. He gets out his little pin box, and he goes over and did some trading with them, which was super sweet. Yeah. Actually, I think that's the video of the first family boarding. Not this one. It's the next one.
You sure?
No, maybe it was this one.
I think I have the video.
I think you have the video. Yeah, yet. I don't have the video.
Yeah. Michael has the video.
Michael has the video. Yeah. So everybody boarded. The boarding process was super quick.
Yep.
There was like hardly anybody in boarding group.
This was great. So
they
sent the first family on, Michael and his family, from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and then they called groups 1, and no one came.
And 2.
And then they're like, well, then they called group 1 again, and no one came. And then they're like, here's 2. And here's 3, and here's 4, and finally some people came,
yeah.
And then
so we got around pretty quick.
5, and finally we got to us at 6. But
and I will say, like, it was less, like.
Well, what was described to us was the delay in people getting to port, both on taking the ferry, which is everyone's mistake. They always take the ferry, and then just the weather and road construction and all that. delayed them that much getting to port that they missed out on their boarding group.
Well, and the road construction on there
and
is
the road
horrible.
construction.
And again, that's one of the reasons why Kim was amazing, because she knew all about it, and she superseded like all the little like things. Like we'd come around and there's a train, she'd turn around, she'd go, go right around it. She knew just what to do. So we had no issues. But yeah, so we got to see the gingerbread house that had like just opened up.
They were building it as they cruised into port.
Yeah, I think I have a video here of the I think it's right here. So you can see as we're coming on, they were still like frantically finishing the atrium because the cruise before us was not a Merrytime. So the gingerbread house was up. Well, I was super excited to see that. And they were scrambling to get all the garland and things up. But they were working hard. And by like sail away, it was done.
Yep, it was done.
So so they turned that around in a matter of hours. It's pretty impressive. So we actually did sit down dinner. So normally, like when we did the Wish, we went up to Marceline. We figured that would be like the best to kind of, check that out. But on this one, we're like, yeah, we've done cabanas. Like it never has anything we really, really love. So let's go do the sit down dinner. So Rapunzel's was open. So Wally was like all about the mac and cheese on this trip. I think he literally ate mac and cheese
every night
for every meal. He ate a couple chicken tenders, but it was mostly mac and cheese. And then Mark just had a nice light lunch.
Lunch.
Yeah. So we both had the steak, which was very good. Very good. This was mine because it has the whipped potatoes on it. It was delicious. And then as if that was not enough, then they brought us like giant cookie sundaes. So and it's great. Like they have all the Enjoy Life cookies that Mark can have. And they have the dairy-free ice cream. So we were off to a solid start on our cruise.
Yep.
Luckily we had not had breakfast that morning, so we were like we had room for it.
Intentional.
But yeah, so we
the only way you make your money back on a cruise is through food.
Yeah. Oh, and then Wally, of course, had to have a Mickey bar.
Ceremonious first Mickey bar.
So I mean, it was a great start to the cruise, and it was really, really nice to do the sit down dining.
Yep.
I think we enjoyed that over doing cabanas. And then we got to our room and we got our stateroom door all decorated.
All in all, they worked amazingly fast to get this ship switched over.
Oh, I mean, for sure.
They would have docked at whatever time everyone had to be out of their staterooms by 9.
Mm-hmm.
They were letting us on by 11:30, 12.
Yeah.
We were at a room by 1:30.
Yeah.
I mean, this is 2:15, but
it's a well-oiled machine. They know what they're doing. Yeah. So, yeah, we had fun decorating our door and did it all up for Merrytime. We did bring like a pin board this time so we could do a pin trade. And then I used the like metal hooks and made a little the magnetic hooks and made a little Christmas tree out of tinsel. So that was really fun. And I'd ordered our little portal decoration. So we had a lot of fun. And our door by the end of the cruise was covered. I don't think there was an inch of that door that was not covered in a magnet. Or like
it took so long to disassemble that door.
Or I mean, there was a lot going on, and Wally just loved it. I mean, every second we come back, he's checking everything, wanted to see and checking the pins, and it was really, really fun. So,
hey Sarah, thanks for hopping on.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna love it. Andy. I will say, like the Wish does look spectacular for Christmas. I
imagine they designed it with the Christmas decorations and the Halloween decorations in mind.
I think so. Yeah. I mean,
again, Imagineers have no life. They sat around.
Well, the one thing that is different about the Wish though is that they do not have enough space in their atrium for a full blown gingerbread house. So they just have like a little gingerbread tree. So that
was interesting.
That is interesting. Like, I mean, especially how much bigger their atrium is, but I just don't think they have like
it's because of the slide.
Space.
It's because of the slide.
Well, the slide that goes down to the kids club.
The slide that goes down to the kids club is where the gingerbread house should be.
True.
So and Wally's first question when he got on the ship was, "Where's the slide?"
Yes, yeah. So he was like a little disappointed that they don't have the slide to the kids club.
Slide? Well, buddy, this is the old ship. You're lucky you got it. No.
But we did go do a tour of the kids club. And it is fun because, you know, they have the classic Andy's toy room with the Slinky Dog slide. And we timed it that it was like right when Woody was coming out. So we got to see Woody and we got to tour the whole kids club area. I will say, like, it's basic.
Mm-hmm.
It's big though, because they have the two sides. They have the Imagineer or the Oceaneers Club, and then they have the Oceaneers Lab. And it was interesting doing the tour because
Art of the theme show. Yep.
Tisa told us that, like, originally the reason why it's divided like that is because they used to have the kids segregated by age. So they had like the older,
and I remember that,
the older, younger kids in the lab, and then the littler kids in the club. And then they didn't service anybody under the age of 3.
Yep.
And then they realized that, like, parents, there was a lot of under 3s on there. So they added on the It's a Small World nursery. And then they also heard from the kids that they wanted to, like, be together. They didn't want to be separated just because, like, they were 5 and 12. They wanted to be together. So now the kids have free reign to go back and forth between the two spaces. It's a secure hallway. It's a secure hallway because it was originally kind of their, like, back hallway for the cast to go in between the two club spaces. So it's great. And, like, Wally loved the fact that, like, the hallway you can see from the outside and there's, like, the little portholes looking in. And so he was like, you have to come see me and wave at me. So he had to, like, run down the hall and we had to go see him one day. But I will say, like, Andy's room is really, really fun. The Slinky Dog slide was super fun. They also have tons of fun activities. So, like, the very first night he did Pluto's pajama party, which he loved. And it was super cute. And Pluto comes in and dances with the kids. And they got to, like, color their own Pluto pillowcase. And they gave the kids Frisbees, which I thought was a really bad idea for a cruise ship. But I don't know.
In Disney.
Like, why would you give children Frisbees on a cruise ship? I wonder how many of them ended up in the ocean. I don't know. But I had a ton of fun. He did that. He also did the Lightning McQueen Racing Academy where they make, like, soap cars. So I will say, like, it felt like there was more, like, fun programming like that.
Yes. Versus like the show programming.
Right. And, like, the Wish, I think, is just, like, there's more bells and whistles and like cool things to interact with.
We're going to have characters come in and build out things in the Star Wars.
Yeah. Like, they would have, like, a show with the Star Wars characters on a show with the Marvel characters. And they did some of that in the kids club. Like, they had a Marvel one where he did the Spider-Man Academy. Like, Spider-Man came in and taught them how to, like, be a superhero. He did that one.
Okay.
But it did feel like there was more like activity, crafts, that kind of stuff happening.
Well, and I don't know if we sent him there more, but it felt like he was asking to go there less.
Yeah.
So on the Wish, he was like, when are you going to drop me off at the kids club? When you can drop me out? I mean, always. When you can drop me off?
That's all I want to do. And I think partially it was the novelty,
the newness of it.
Yeah, and it was a shorter cruise, and we were, like, doing so many other things that he just didn't have as much time in the kids club, and he did have more time to do the kids club on this one. So he was, like, happy to have the time he had, but he wasn't, like, hounding us for it as much as he was on the Wish.
Yep.
So, yeah. Golly, Bob Howdy, it's Woody. It is really fun that they did the, like, character meet and greets in there. And it was really fun to get to see Woody with the Slinky Dog slide.
So you got to show the sail. So we'll talk about it on Dawn's stream, but you know, you're going on a cruise. Do not expect it to be sunny and shorts weather.
Oh my gosh, it was
all the time.
It was cold.
Know your location. And Dawn, you know the weather you guys have been having in Texas.
Crazy.
It was cold.
It was cold.
we had our winter
coats,
flease coats on.
Yeah, we had our winter coats on, down coats, Santa hats.
Down coats, yeah.
But they do the sail away party. So the old school sailing away party, I think it's a different one on the Wish and the Fantasy and the Dream.
Yes.
Because I don't remember Sail Away.
No.
I think Sail Away is the Wonder and the Magic.
I think you're right.
I do not remember what it was in the Fantasy. Andy and Liz, maybe you guys remember from your dream cruise. It was fun. I do have to say, like, the Wish Sail Away party, I liked a lot more.
Yeah.
But
fantastic deck party.
There was lots of energy in this. Wally had lots of fun up front dancing. They still bring all the characters out. I didn't think we were going to get the streamers because the weather was looking pretty bad, but we got the whole experience because we didn't get the streamers on our wish sailing because again, we had weather. So we've like now
Maybe
managed
it's
to
us.
sail away in 2 rainy
storms.
So we'll see. I don't know if the Wonder out of San Diego will have stormy weather again, but we had the sail away. We did a little bit of shopping, some pin trading. We went to the show that night was
So show the picture.
Tangled.
I mean, the fun thing about
Yeah.
Very Merrytime cruises is all the decorations.
Mhm.
So you just have bowls of poinsettias all around.
Mhm.
Lots of trees, lots of what are those things called?
Garland.
Thank you.
Garland wreaths.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Like it's not overwhelming. It's not like totally in your face, but it's really, it makes the ship really pretty. We did the like Christmas welcome aboard party.
Mhm.
Got some pictures of the Christmas tree. We did do the Christmas room package, and I had to call this one in. It never, ever came up in the app.
Yep.
So only if you called were you able to
Or
get
on the website.
the Christmas one.
Yep.
I don't know if it's just like because supply and demand is still really hard or what the story is, but I'm really glad we got it because it's super cute. And my favorite part is the Goofy scarf. It's so funny. And it's just really cute. And then this pillow like zips up. You can put stuff on inside, and they have the little banners. And I really love these like Sherpa fleece blankets. This is what his one from the Wish is like too. So it's fun that he has like one from the Wish, and now he has a Merrytime sailing one. I think I have a picture of me with the oh, I thought I did with the Goofy scarf on, but maybe it's actually after these. There it is. There's the Goofy scarf. That's so cute. I love it. But yeah, it was choppy seas. Just like some big old waves. It was windy, and we had big waves that night.
Especially when you look forward, you can really see them kind of like fighting back.
Some of them, I mean, some of them were splashing up as high as like deck 6.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There were multiple sea spray splashes that we saw at our level of deck 6 all the way forward.
Yeah. So that was like our first night, and then we had dinner. Oh, we had dinner at Animator's Palette that night,
Yep.
and that was fun. This was one thing we learned: they do not do the animation, unless it's a 7-night sailing.
Yes, sadness.
I don't know if that's new. Andy and Liz, when you guys did your cruise, did you do a 5 or a 7-night? When we did our sailing on the Fantasy, we did a 7-night.
Yep.
And we got to do the animation, like you get to draw, and then they put it in, and then
So basically, the story
your
is everyone has to go through the dining room twice to get it. So you need a 7-night sailing,
right? Because not everybody gets Animator's Palette twice.
And I always thought it was the first night you did Animator's Palette, you did the drawing, and then the second night was just superfluous. But no, it's the other way around. The first night is kind of like superfluous, and the second night is the show. And so they still marched everyone out. Mickey still came rolling out.
Yeah, they did the Sorcerer Mickey. He did say sometimes that doesn't happen though. If
Depends
the timing
upon
is
timing.
off.
I mean, Mickey may be
there's
somewhere
only
else.
one
in the
Mickey.
ship. Yep.
And if Mickey's somewhere else, and sometimes he doesn't make it to dinner.
Yep.
So
Sarah, good question. How far ahead did we purchase that?
It was, so I literally obsessively checked every single day for about 6 months. You really, those, like any of the seasonal ones, it's usually about 30 to 60 days. So once you can start booking your shore excursions and things, then that's when any like seasonal things will be added.
But again, it never showed up
But it
online.
never showed up.
People started talking about it in the cruise groups that, hey, I was able to call and get the holiday package.
So I would say if you're 30 days out and you haven't seen it, just call and see.
Birthday ones
are always
they're standard.
there.
They're always there. You're going to find them on the app.
Yep.
You'll be fine on that no matter when you get
Birthday
it. But if you want a
always in there.
seasonal specific or cruise
So if you want like
packages,
the holiday one, then you would probably have to call. But the birthday ones are always in there. And Liz says that we still use our Christmas decor from our cruise. I know. It's super fun. We're definitely going to be busting out that Goofy scarf for quite a while. The blanket and pillows on Wally's bed for Christmas.
Yep.
I don't know about the like banners. It was interesting. This time they had tape on them. I remember when we did the Fantasy, they were only magnetic.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they just had issues with it like not holding.
Yeah.
But it like I didn't really like it because when I took it down, it like left a bunch of residue on the ceiling, and I picked it all off because I didn't want it to be like stuck
Marlon
up there.
to be stuck with that.
But
we already stuck him with some.
Oh my gosh,
some cement.
The golden turkey, which I don't know if you all know the lore and legend of the golden turkey.
We have videos about it. You can go find them.
Yes, but
find our
amazingly, because he only flies over one city a year and goes to 100 houses. And that's it. And so you have to be very, very lucky to have the golden turkey come. And so we heard in 2020, the year of many lores and legends, that he was flying over Fort Collins.
And he came to our house.
You know, I can't believe it, but we got so lucky. He left a golden egg in our backyard. And then the next year, Wally said, is the golden turkey going to come again? And I said, no. One time thing, buddy. But I don't know what happened. 2021, somehow, he came again.
To Gondo's house.
I think he came to Gondo's house. Yeah. But then, luck would have it, he was flying over the Gulf of Mexico this year. And
happened upon our stateroom veranda.
Opened up our veranda, and there was a golden egg and a bunch of feathers.
It looked like a seagull kill.
So the golden turkey strikes again, and he brought Wally a little, like, one of those Minecraft sand things that you like chip away in. And man, that thing was hard. But he actually got the golden creeper. I mean, it makes sense. It came from the golden turkey. But as luck would have it, he got the golden creeper. But it was an effort, and we're very sorry, Marlon. We did our very best to clean everything up.
But we know there was cement splattered all over that room.
some additional cleanup that was needed.
Tip your servers and host as well.
Yes, we doubled everybody's gratuities.
Yeah,
just double it.
And
added a little bit more.
Yeah.
But let's see what else. We did a couple beverage tastings on this sailing. We didn't get to do any of those on the Wish because,
not platinum.
Was not able to book any of that.
Hashtag not platinum. And I guess now it's hashtag not pearl.
To be honest, we wouldn't have had time.
No.
Anyway.
We were run on the Wish.
So this one we did the champagne tasting. Which was up in Signals, the Cove Cafe. It was supposed to be in Keys, but it got moved up to Cove Cafe, which was actually really lovely.
Mm-hmm.
But it was on a very rocky night. But that was our first night, the sail away night. It was like 10:30 at night. We did the champagne tasting, and it was lovely. Really enjoyed that. And then on our Cozumel day,
Cozumel.
I think it was Cozumel.
Yep.
We did the tequila and margarita tasting. And we had done the tequila and margarita tasting on our fantasy sailing, so it wasn't new. I probably wouldn't do that one again. It's enjoyable. But I feel like I will say the one thing about
3 different Patrons.
Well, the one thing that's really nice about doing the beverage tastings on the ships is that you do learn a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we learned a lot about how to make how to properly make a good margarita.
Are you saying you're going to make that a goal? Fun Fiero's.
You just got 24 more cruises, guys. You could
committing.
be Pearl too. But the champagne tasting was fun. I liked that one because it's kind of romantic. It's your sail away day. But it's not like anything super special, but I probably would do the champagne one again over the tequila one because the tequila one was exactly the same as what we had done.
Other than, this time the bartender who prepared the thing did some jalapeno infused tequila. So she actually took fresh jalapenos, infused them for a day at least in the tequila, and that was kind of nice. It was a spicy margarita.
Spicy.
It was nice.
So yes,
thank you, Dawn.
Dawn is dematerializing. We'll rematerializing over on their channel, and we'll be over there real soon. So, we did a couple beverage tastings. We had the rotational dining where we did Rapunzel's twice and Animators twice and Lumiere's once. I did call and request that.
You can do requests now.
You can do a couple of requests. You can request seating. So I requested to be near the stage and screen. And we really liked that. And then you can also request dining rotations. So, it was very good, Liz. It was a really good one.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would do the margarita one again. Like, it was fun.
No, I mean, she obviously had some of that left over. If you knew the margarita tasting was going on, you could always show up at the bar after the fact and be like, hey, what did you make?
Yeah.
Because it is just a bunch of Patron. I mean, it's good. It's good tequila. It's good tequila. It was $50.
Yeah, I mean, the beverage tastings are a little pricey. They used to be
10,
they used to be
10,
less, but they've increased them.
$10 a shot, basically.
So but yeah, I mean, it was fun. What else did we do? Oh, I will say the other thing I noticed about this cruise. So
show the wave. So go back to that second here.
This one?
That one. Or that one.
That one's just a picture. Let's see. Whoa, Amber Alert.
Amber Alert coming in. For my second line.
Yeah, this was the waves.
And you can see the ship listing
on that day.
Yeah, so this is that
the next
that
morning.
Monday. So this is the day we went to Palo. Palo.
Yes.
I can't say it near as good as those guys.
Well, you're not from Italy, so
no.
It makes a difference.
Yeah,
they were it was rough seas.
Powerful waves.
It's rough seas.
I mean, the height was there, but they also had, the depths of the wave behind them.
Mm-hmm.
So no Tianas on the Magic. Tianas is only on the Wonder.
Yeah.
On the Magic, they have Rapunzel's
table, and that was really, really fun. So it was timed that we got to see the Tangled musical the same night that we ate at Rapunzel's. So it was super fun. They have the characters there. You could get pictures of them when you're coming in. The dinner show was super, super fun. I will say that is like the thing about the Wish is that it's all very themed dining. Like you get 2 dinner shows, and on all the other ships you really only get 1. And then if you do have a 7-night sailing, you kind of get the show with Animator's Palette. Otherwise, not really anything.
Show light.
But I will say people also kind of complained about that on the Wish, and that like you can't really have conversation over dinner because of the shows. Like the Marvel show and the Frozen show like is constant, so you're really not like having like a dinner where you get to talk. So so we will get to do Tiana's when we're on the Wonder in March. We're really excited about that. We did really love Rapunzel's. We ended up eating in there 4 times because we ate there for lunch the day we got there. We had 2 dinners in there, and then we had our breakfast in there. So we got our share of Rapunzel's for sure, but it is beautiful in there with all the hanging lanterns. I think it hands down was our favorite restaurant. I mean, Animators is fun, but it's it's on all the ships. So Rapunzel's was really fun to get to eat at numerous times. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to say is that we are DVC members. When we did our Wish sailing, it was a DVC exclusive charter cruise. And we were spoiled. Like they had gifts for us every day. They had all these special things. And I thought like, wow, like I just want to do like a DVC sailing every time. This is amazing. And they do. Actually, now I'm wondering. I just got to thinking.
What are you thinking?
Oh, just with the announcement of the 25th anniversary. I think DVC will do a sailing. They might. I mean, they have a bunch of people with a bunch of points to blow. So anyway, that was food for thought. We have been looking. We'll talk about that on Hitchhiking Bones. But yeah, 25th anniversary of Disney Cruise Line, because she shared it before. 1998 plus 25 gets you 2023. Be next Good job. Year. Good math. I am an expert at math. But I will say, so this was not a DVC sailing. However, I was very surprised at how we were treated as DVC members. Like they still put the magnets on your door, which I knew they do. If you're DVC, when you sail, they like put special magnets on your door. You get a special DVC lanyard. And then every day you can go to the DVC desk and they have a special gift for you. So they had bags, they had pop sockets, a lot of the same things that we had when we did tattoos. Wally really liked tattoos. They had like special Mickey pirate tattoos. Those were really fun. Was there anything that was unique that they gave us on this one that we hadn't gotten when we did the Wish sailing? I don't think so, but they did have gifts every day. And then they had a reception, which was super fun. So the second day, they had a DVC reception, and they said like, bring your friends and family. So we met some people at the champagne tasting. We referred them and invited them. If they join, we get a referral. So that's kind of exciting. But we did get a really cool pin for referring them. But they said, like, invite your friends and family. And we were talking to them and they're like, tell us more about DVC. I'm like, come to the thing tomorrow. Like, and it wasn't salesy at all. It was just fun.
It was just a fun gathering.
Yeah. And they did a game show and Wally got to be on it and he was hysterical.
Yeah. When this footage comes out, you have to watch it.
He was so funny. And
he was the star of the show.
Tisa was the host again. And he was just like, he was cracking us up. It was hilarious. So it was super fun. And they had like free drinks of the day. They had cocktails and non-alcoholic beverages that they had for free at the reception. So it just was like a really nice way to start the cruise and like made us feel special as DVC members. So I think like, even if it's not a DVC sailing, like I was surprised to still feel special.
And they brought Mickey out.
And then they brought Captain Mickey out for an exclusive like photo meet and greet at the party. So it was really, really fun. So you should sail with us and come to the DVC reception next time you do a cruise.
Well, we are getting close to the end of our time.
Yeah, I think we're like rounding it out.
We'll have more.
Other big difference on this on the Magic and the Wonder versus the Dream and the Fantasy and now the Wish is the water park area. So they just have the they have the big yellow slide, which is really cool and like super spirally. And Wally loved it. He went up late at night and just like went down and down and down and down.
He was the only one there for a half hour.
And it was warm.
It's me talking
that night.
It's me talking to the lifeguard, like, just chatting you up while my kids
befriended Cameron. It was his birthday, so we brought him a birthday present.
Happy birthday, Cameron.
Yeah, happy birthday, Cameron. That was really fun. And then they have the Aqua Dunk. So they do not have the aqua coasters on the Magic and the Wonder, which is a little disappointing. Yeah. Like I do think that Wally really loved that and really wanted to do that again.
That dunk was.
But they had the Aqua Dunk. So Mark was brave enough and did the Aqua Dunk. We were trying to convince Wally the whole time, like, you can do it. Be brave, you can do it. It is one of those like drop slides. So you stand in a like chute. The door closes, locks, and you're standing on a platform, almost vertical. And then Huey, Dewey, and Louie count down. They say 3, 2, 1, bye. And then the bottom opens up and you drop. So Mark was brave and did it, thinking that like Daddy will do it and then Wally will do it. And Wally saw it and he was like, nope. And he was like running down. Poor Daddy went shooting down. And yeah, he had, I called him his angel wings because his back had like 2 big red streaks on it from the slide. He said it goes so fast. It just shoots all the water like up your nose and into your eyes. So you pretty much have to keep your eyes closed the whole time. I don't think Mark was a fan. Would you do the Aqua Dunk again, Daddy?
No. And I'm quite happy I did not stand in line that long for it. No,
it was scary.
I will never do that kind of thing again in my life.
Yeah.
That was once and done. And, and I will tell, I'm not an anxietous person. And I was anxiety. I told Irene when I was done, I go, I finally know what you feel on roller coasters. Cause I was that.
Yeah.
As the doors coming shut, I tried to stick my foot out of it to get out. Never again.
Yeah.
Never again. It was horrible.
It was intense.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how those kids were doing it over and over. Kids are fearless. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't even enjoyable. Like you couldn't even keep your eyes open it was just like.
Mark did not enjoy it. So I don't know if Wally will ever do Aqua Dunk, but he did love the water slide and they have the little water park area. And I think that I liked that over the Wish because the Wish really just kind of has the splash pad for like the little kids. But this had kind of like a bigger kid splash pad and then like a little baby splash pad.
Yeah.
And so Wally really loved that.
So real quick before we're done, want to say thank you again to Dean at The Live Place for hosting all the live channels on his website, theliveplace.com.
Yes.
Thank you to our wonderful mods here tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you to our friends in the chat, Hitchhiking Bones, Fun Fiero. Check those guys out. I put the link down below. we're heading on over to the Hitchhiking Bones to
Yeah.
continue the cruise conversation.
So come on over.
Yep.
They're super fun. We love
these
Wellington. They're
videos.
just, like, the greatest.
These videos are going to be part of our Wally Jolly Christmas.
Yes,
so starting
our
here,
Vlogmas. So my
in
goal
December.
is to do Vlogmas and get a vlog out every day. I have enough holiday content to do one every day. We'll see. And then in January we'll get our Halloween ones up from Oogie Boogie.
And the June
trip will
WW trip's gonna be
in,
January,
like,
February. Don't worry about that.
It's coming. It's coming. But my goal is to get them all caught up before our next cruise.
Yep.
So
if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, smash that bell icon, and as Funfero said, hit that like button on your way out.
Yes.
Anything else, hon, before we...
No, just stay tuned for lots of Holly Jolly fun because December 1st is coming up in 2 days. We're ready. We got all 8 Christmas trees done. Mark got all the outdoor lights up before the snow hit. So we are ready for the holidays and we are falling into it hard. We had so much fun kicking it off on the cruise and we're just ready to do all the Holly Jolly things. And so stay tuned for lots of fun and come join us over on the Hitchhiking Bones. We're going to hop on over there. We're going to dematerialize and rematerialize over there. So come on, hitchhike your way over there and join us over there.
All right. This is the Wonderful World of Walter.
And we love you guys just the way you are.